talk more about that. Summer, of course, is here. You're probably ready to make your plans to get into the out there. Who better to come with you than man's best friend or woman's best friend? But a long, hot day outside can become dangerous for your dog. Lorraine Rhodes is an environmental biologist with Dogtopia, the largest dog daycare, boarding, and spa facility in the entire country. She joins us right now with some tips on how to keep your pets safe while you enjoy the great outdoors together. Lorraine, thanks for joining us. You know, dogs, they get uncomfortably warm much easier than humans do, right? It has to do with that furry coat, right? So when it comes to our furry friends, what temperature is too hot for them?
Well, different breeds can handle different temperatures. And just like you mentioned with their furry coats, that can really be a huge factor. So, and they don't sweat, right? They pant the way they don't sweat to cool themselves the way humans do. So if it's too hot for you, keep in mind it's definitely too hot for your dog.
So on that note, when they're panting, is it, you know, when they're panting even more and more, is that a danger sign?
Absolutely. So excessive panting would be considered heat stroke, and heat stroke is also known as hyperthermia. So one of the first signs you're going to see is that excessive panting. It will also look like drooling too. Now, if your dog has trouble cooling at that point, more excessive and serious symptoms can start to happen, you know, vomiting, and even next step would be loss of consciousness. So that's considered heat stroke. If you ever suspect your dog is having heat stroke, something that serious, they need to be seen by a veterinarian right away. You need to work on cooling that body temperature.
When I walk my dog, I bring my water for me and water for my dog Penny. So hydration is especially important too, right? You got to make sure they're drinking enough.
Absolutely. Hydration is key. One thing you can do to increase hydration is to add additional water bowls around your home. You might even consider purchasing a pet water fountain. That can be helpful. And my dog, she really loves it when we make her frozen treats like frozen low sodium chicken broth. That's another kind of secret way to get some hydration in there.
I love that. I never heard of that, Lorraine. That's a great idea. Thanks so much. So, you know, with families packing up their cars for summer road trips, what are some tips to keep our pets safe when traveling?
I'm glad you asked because it's really important to make sure you're current on vaccines. Keep your vaccine records with you. Also, make sure that those ID tags are current and correct. Sometimes we move or change a phone number and that ID tag on your dog is different. But I'm also a big believer in microchipping. If you are ever separated from your dog during your travel, microchip is going to be the best, most effective way at being able to reunite your dog if you happen to be lost or separated. Also, keep in mind that flea and tick issues right now are pretty big as we head into the summer. So keep your dog up to date on flea and tick prevention. There's lots of things that could be happening with those parasites that we need to be really mindful of.
Exactly. Now we go from the serious side to the fun side. I thought I'd end with, you know, some activities that are fun and keep dogs cool during the summertime.
Well, certainly if the weather's cooperating and it's less than 90 degrees with some tolerable low humidity, enjoy your outside. Go for your walks and your hikes and enjoy that time. You know, use a kiddie pool with sprinklers. But at Dogtopia, we like to use bacon bubbles. I've never met a dog that doesn't really love the smell of bacon. So that's a fun activity.
What do you mean by bacon bubbles? I got to follow up on that one. I never heard of such a thing.
It's true. They make bubbles that smell like bacon. They're edible and safe, and we use them in our playrooms all the time.
Oh my goodness. I never heard of that. Molly, have you ever heard of that?
I'm going to get some bubbles for my dogs.
Yeah, that's a great one, Lorraine. Thank you so much. You had some excellent tips right there when it comes to traveling and just keeping them cool during the summertime months. That's Lorraine Rhodes, our environmental biologist at Dogtopia. Thank you for your advice today. Molly, over to you.